Right behind me is the town, downtown Marshall, North Carolina, historic downtown, and you can see the French Broad River right here behind me. We're going to take a tour, my friend Fleming and I, all the way through the town. We're going to show you what we're seeing a full 36 days after the storm. It doesn't look good. I've got to be honest with you, like, it looks like the storm just rolled through yesterday or the day before. There's just trees down everywhere. I mean, you can see just mud everywhere. Obviously, this was all underwater, including these bridges right here, all underwater from this water right here. So you're talking like a good, it's got to be 25, maybe 30 feet of water that came up in the storm.
This is called Blennerhassett Island in the middle of the French Broad here. This building you see, this is kind of the only building that they had on the island. It was originally the high school in Madison County. Previously was kind of a hippie commune, kind of a place for people to congregate for events, and now it's become a staging area for disaster relief. You know, obviously this is the center of downtown Marshall, and you've got the Madison County Courthouse right here, and then you can see on the right past that shipping container, the black sign, that is the jail, old Marshall jail that was built in 1904. Now they've repurposed it, but yeah, that used to be an 18 room jail.
Look at that. You can see the water was obviously up here.
See this massive rebar exposed here.
That's crazy. Same thing like right here. You can see the mud from the water being up this high. That is wild to me. It is so far down to that water.
I mean, let's see. Look at this.
It just bent it. That's crazy. Same thing on this side. This got all mangled up too. Look at it. Just broke it right off. So you can tell right here that the water was right up from the river. You can tell that the water was right up here to this building, and they are all boarded up. Signs of progress in here. You can see some demo work happened in these buildings already, but there is just so much work to do. We're 36 days.
We're going to be seeing a lot of this in all these buildings. The buildings being built out of brick and quality construction are able to stick around, but everything is gutted to the studs.
Yeah, there you go. Look at all the mud. Chai concentrate.
Yep.
Obviously no restrooms downtown, so they put in some new ones. Wow.
So we're coming up on Madison County Brew House, pizza and brewery. My band Shedbugs played here about a month before the storm hit. We were right there in that corner, rocking out.
Damn. Wow, so was the water all the way up here?
Yeah, oh yeah, it came all the way over here.
That's crazy. I mean, we've got to be probably 50 yards from the river at this point, and way above it, by the way.
Here's where they marked the date and time that they checked the building.
It's a shame, small business, a dentist office. Look at that. Oh wow, look at these apartments. Man. Are you telling me that sign right there, that was knocked by the water or by winds, do you think? Water couldn't have been up that high, was it?
I don't know. Probably, I don't think it was that high, but I don't know.
And that's what's crazy. It was a flooding event and it was a wind event at the same time.
Yeah.
Gives you an idea of how high up above the water we are in the town and on the main road there.
Here's a shot from the other side of Blennerhassett Island.
It's got to take forever to get all this trash and debris out. You can see that's all like their HVAC and all their drywall and flooring all ripped out. It's got to take forever. Yeah. Look at the mud 36 days later. Just looks like bookshop and arts. And boy, this took a lot of damage. Yeah, full gut. window out.
Look at that. Just massive piles of debris stacked up.
That looks horrible.
I mean, that looks like it was just brought here by the storm.
Yeah, that was 100% picked up by the water and left right where it is. Just nobody's had a chance yet to clean up stuff like that. It's just not a priority.
Right.
Look at this, Fleming. Roof just totally sunk in. Water right up through the windows. Look at how high these debris piles, you can see Fleming in the foreground. That was just all picked up by the river. God knows where this stuff came from and just dropped right there. Look what it did here to the edge of the road, kind of carved out.
Yeah, that guardrail is just completely torn to the side.
Oh my word. The debris. And this is 45 minutes north of Asheville, the same French Broad River that flooded River Arts District. Probably has debris piles all the way up, all the way from Asheville and even south of Asheville. So this here is actually a pretty sad shot, but I have to capture it. You can zoom in here. That sign says, "Welcome to historic downtown Marshall." So this is all new rocks that have been, rock and gravel that's been laid down since the storm. This was all washed out. I gotta be honest, Fleming, I'd seen pictures, I'd seen a little bit of video, I'd talked to some people, and I mean, I knew it was gonna be bad up here, but this is worse, way worse than what I would have thought.
Yep, it just had an absolute raging river come 8 or 9 feet up just ripped through downtown.
I mean, we would have been underwater where we're standing right now, which is wild because we're standing we're probably 15 feet of elevation above the river right now.
Yep.
Now this place here is legendary in Marshall. I've never eaten here, but I've heard so many good things about the Star Diner, and just a shame to see the shape that the building is in right now, and just to think about how long it would take them to rebuild, to reopen. I mean, just the amount of work and money it would take just to get those doors open again is mind-boggling to me. To the community of Marshall, this place is irreplaceable.
Go to the coffee shops and the breweries and the bookstores and fire up the laptop and spend some time here. This town and a ton of the other hard-hit cities, or little towns, I would say, around this area, and it's a new era for the whole thing. There's going to be a long rebuilding period, and eventually it'll reach some form of stability, but it's never going to be the same place that it was.
Oh wow. Right here you can see the water line. That's insane, because that's the river over there behind those buildings. So it gives you an idea of how much was underwater here. I'm not really interested in getting into the great debate of FEMA and the government fixing everything, but I think you can gather from this video that, there's just not, FEMA and the government aren't this magical thing that it's going to come through and just fix homes and businesses. That's really just not the way it works. They help pump some funds into the area, which will ultimately help people to rebuild, but I mean, the government isn't here rebuilding homes and businesses.
Right. They also provide funds for people to get out and kind of move on with their lives elsewhere, because it's going to be a while before they can do it here.
Right. If you worked at one of these places downtown, one of these restaurants or bookstores or whatever, right, your job's not going to come back online in a couple of weeks here. A lot of these rebuilds, you're talking about several months on the short end, and on the high end, you're talking about more than a year. And some of these small businesses will decide that they're never going to reopen again. They just don't have the funds or the means or the time to rebuild. Look at this. I mean, this is it's just totally gutted. We've already shown you dozens of small businesses and homes and apartments that have been totally gutted, and still every time I look at one of these things, it's just makes my stomach drop. Like, you feel it, and it doesn't feel good. Some homes there, Totally gutted. Hot water heater sitting out in front of that one. Totally gutted. You can hear and see some fans back there trying to dry this place out. Again, 36 days since the storm. It's hard to tell what a lot of these businesses once were, except for looking at the signs.
You want to see a super ironic sign? French Broad Chevrolet.
That's the river that caused all this. I think portions of this video, I'm just not really going to have words for what I'm looking at. Just have to let the images, the video, do the talking. Oh my gosh. Wow. Look at this. Gosh, this is hard to look at. You can tell that that power pole was replaced. And there was the old one. Oh my God. If that doesn't show you the power of water, oh man. I don't know what does. It's hard to put into words. We're going to walk up over here so you can see where the river actually was on the other side of these railroad tracks. And there's the French Broad River. Right there, you can see destruction on the other side of the river too. So it obviously hopped up over these railroad tracks down into the town this way and just rushed through all these buildings. It's pretty flat. I mean, that's a good, 15 feet down?
Oh yeah.
They must have had to rebuild this wall. This is all new gravel, I would imagine?
Yeah, it looks brand new gravel. I assume the rail bed just got washed out.
Wow, it looks like the back of that building just got ripped right off. This is the same French Broad River that ripped through Asheville, North Carolina, the River Arts District. We're about 45 minutes north of Asheville here. Same river, same water. We're actually downstream from Asheville. So the water went through Asheville, wrecked the River Arts District, and then came up through here, through Marshall, and wrecked up this area, and then moved on to the next victim, which is Hot Springs, North Carolina, just a few minutes from here. That's just wild. Look at how high up the debris is on that tree. You can see how the river messed up this rail bed here. You can hear them doing some work in here in this building.
Yeah, there's not going to be a train coming along these tracks for a while. Clickety-clacking just with our own weight going over it.
Yeah. Yeah, they might want to put that one back first. Yeah, look at that. Wow.
This was the Marshall newspaper right here.
You're kidding.